Welcome back to another video here on the channel. It's been a little while, but today we're finally doing the renovation of Chaz's farm. It was promised a little while ago now, but finally got around to it. It's really exciting. But first, welcome to the new office. I know we were in the office the last few times, but I've done a little bit of work. You can see one of the sound panels up there, and like the furnishing I did in the real house build video, I did it. I got the ceiling mounted green screen. Yeah, let's go. Right, so here we are. We're in the Chaz's farm lot from the Let's Play. If you haven't seen it, this is from the Cottage Living Rags to Riches Let's Play. And we ended up the last episode with a whole bunch of money from our stores. So we're finally going to do a renovation. Now, there's been so many suggestions and ideas since the last time. And basically, well, one of the problems we had as well on this lot, because there's so much happening on this lot. We've got a family, we've got 2 dogs, because I think we've got a toddler and a child, we've got 2 dogs, we have all the oversized crops, we got patchy, we have gardening stuff, we have power and water generation. Like, there's a lot of stuff happening, and it was kind of getting a little out of hand and kind of a little glitchy in the last few episodes. And especially because we have our families living in 2 separate houses. There's like a smaller house out the back and then the main house that was in the middle. So instead, what I decided to do based on suggestions and feedback was just get rid of the second house entirely, have everyone live in the one house, just because it makes more sense and it's going to make my life a lot easier as well, so it won't be as laggy. And essentially, we're building a big like English countryside manor or estate. And I got a little bit of inspiration from some good Google searches, 2 images in particular, one of which, interestingly, is actually David Beckham's country estate. And it looks really nice. And that's actually what I based the front garden off of. Because originally, as you can see, we were going to use this sort of circular footpath with stones and all that and sort of use that as the main entranceway. But I kind of figured it didn't make a lot of sense because there's no actual road coming up there. Like, I mean, we could still have that footpath, but it seemed like it made more sense if we just had a nice manicured garden rather than having the stepping stones. So that's kind of, I took the inspiration of his house for the front, and then just general overall aesthetic as well. I think just Googling English country estate came up with this house here, which I really like the look of because it's exactly sort of what we're going for. It also meant we could do this sort of almost castle-y kind of rooftop section with flags and all that, which is what I'm doing now. And I think that totally fits the vibe of this build. And we just run with it. Like, I think it works really well. So basically, I was gonna just try and do renovations to this house, you know, just like sort of move stuff around, push the walls in and out, but it kind of just ended up being me needing to redo the entire interior, and that's what we did. But yeah, for a long time, you can see I'm sort of trying to work with what we've already got as a base and then going from there. But it kind of, there's so much change that I don't even think you could see the original house in this anymore, which is not a problem because I think it turned out so well. It is fully furnished by the end of this, but there's definitely still room to change stuff and adapt it in the Let's Play, which I think will be important because we have the toddler and the kid, and I guess they're going to be growing up. We'll want to change and sort of adjust the house as we need to. I also finally built like a proper animal shed and that kind of stuff, which we'll see around the grounds in a little bit. Not all of it is in this time lapse because it did take a long time. Like I spent, 3-4 days on this, maybe a bit longer actually, just doing little bits here and there, trying to get it how I wanted. A lot of it I just wasn't recording because it was taking me so long to figure out how I wanted to do it. Because, we've been waiting for this moment for so long, so I wanted it to look good, I wanted it to work. I also, so like I said, I also do try to clean up the actual lot itself a little bit because we're still kind of on that farm aesthetic, which is fine, but I needed to be a little less muddy around the place and a little less unkempt, especially because I have money now. We own the other store, and I think we also own the other house in Del Sol Valley still, if I'm not mistaken. I think Hazel still owns that. So we've got a lot of property and a lot of money. So, it seems like it should be a little bit cleaner, a little bit more put together. And here is where I was doing the entrance, and I actually took, so this, I think, was from one of the houses. I think maybe it was at the Beckham's house. They just basically had this whole sort of, I don't know, patio. I don't know if you call it a patio. This whole decking around the entire property. So it sort of just squares off the base foundation. So I quite liked that. So I did that. And I actually ended up raising up this entire farming plot just so it sort of sat a little closer to height of the house rather than having a whole bunch of steps down. So at the front, we'll have a few more steps, but then to the farm, there'll only be like 1 step, I think, or maybe 2 steps down. So it's not as big of a height change on the sides, which I think worked really well. So yeah, this is kind of you kind of see the whole house coming together at this point and how it's going to work. Obviously, I haven't done the front garden yet, but these country kitchen kit tiles or stone tiles actually came in handy. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't really used much of that kit, I don't think, or any of the 50. How many kits do we have now? I feel like it's gotten out of hand. I don't know. Like, I feel like, do we have more kits than other packs yet? Let me check, because I don't know about you guys, but the kits, I don't think they're really for me. I've kind of ignored them for the most part, because I don't... Well, half of them are like Creator Sim as well, aren't they? Because there's a new one, the menswear kit. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kits already, which is 1 less than the amount of game packs we have. So we almost have more kits than game packs. It'd be nice to maybe, I don't know. They only had the 1 gameplay kit, right? The Bust the Dust kit, which I don't know if I want more gameplay kits because that was really broken when it came out, but I don't know. I feel like there's potential for kits, but they haven't really nailed it because they always seem to come out and there's something like broken with them or something not right. Didn't we only just get the window that was like missing in the industrial kit as well? So I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, I'm getting a little sidetracked from what's going on. So I really wish we had bigger versions of the windows that came in Cottage Living, but that's why you can see I actually just stacked 2 of the windows together just to make 1 taller one, which I think actually works quite well. I think that's fine. You can see on the left there, on the bottom, that we've just sort of stacked those windows. And I think it looks pretty good. And up the top, I think that totally works. And then I'm basically just covering the entire house in vines. Well, not the entire house, but a lot of the house in vines. So at the end of this time lapse, we will obviously go through and have a closer look at the house in case there's anything you're missing or you can't quite see. And I'll also talk about the areas that we still need to do, because I did use pretty much all their money, even with selling the entire other house in the back and moving some things around. Used up all the money. So I did everything that I possibly could. And the house, like I said, is pretty much fully furnished. There is the castle-y top bit that is actually empty, so we can do stuff in there. I was thinking that could be a good place to move Hazel's creative space to, because we removed the house that she lived in, and Trenton lived in. So they'll live in this one now. And we still have the outdoor shed, but I mean, we could maybe get rid of that and move that into the house as well. So there's a lot of like stuff we could change and optimize to make it a little bit better. And I kind of wanted to rework the greenhouse again. Like I almost wanted to shift I feel like the house is actually kind of back to front. Like once I built all this, I looked at it, I was like, the greenhouse should be behind all of the farm stuff and move all the farm forward. But then I was like, that's a whole job in itself, because we'd have to move that really formal garden that's in the middle of it. You can see just behind there. And that's not an easy job. So I was like, maybe I won't do that right now. That'd add like another few hours of me just moving stuff. So I may potentially want to do something about the greenhouse later on. I'm not sure, but for now I just left it, focused on the house and the other side of the landscaping on the lot. And we have like a little sunroom here just next to the farm section, which I actually really like, using the Moschino windows just because I don't know, I felt like 1, that matched the greenhouse, and 2, I thought it was really nice, and it would just bring a lot of light into that room was the idea. And just trying to do lots and lots of greenery and plants everywhere. So one of the houses, I'm not sure if it was Beckham's or the other one, had like that sunroom, which is basically essentially what that's based off of. And I had like sort of all these vines and stuff growing over the top, which is why I kind of put hedges up the top there. Well, also still, I think just coming out of like autumn maybe in the game, or fall, which is why the bushes are still a little brown, in case you're wondering. It's not fully green and flowering yet, but it's getting there. So yeah, I just kind of continued that decking around the entirety of the house. So we had it all the way around the sides. And I haven't actually really done any furniture on this. It's not decking. I don't know what to call it. I don't know what you'd call it. The patio. I haven't done anything on it because that wasn't really the priority, but we could easily do some outdoor dining and stuff like that, and maybe some nice chairs or something. I don't know. Like there's still a lot of potential. There's also, we still have a few random items around the lot. Like we've got the giant telescope and also the weather machine just there, which don't actually have homes yet. And they look a little strange just out there. So we might have to look for somewhere for that. So if you have any suggestions, do let me know. Yeah, so the layout of the house, as you can see here, I'm actually so I'm removing all the stuff we got. I think I'm keeping some of it and then I'm putting it in my inventory to reuse. Originally, yeah, like I said, I was going to try and keep the layout for the most part and add rooms to it. But then in the end, that just kind of didn't make sense. So I actually just, at some point here, but I think we're probably going to jump forward and just have a layout sort of kind of sorted out. Because I spent quite a while trying to figure it out. Like the kitchen was a little bit awkward in the position that it is now with the rooms. Like it didn't really make sense. And I did want to have a boot room again because we had that off to the side, you know, when you'd come in from the farm, take off your shoes, you know, wash up and all that before going into the house. So I wanted to fit that in. And make sure the roof was fitting on nicely as well, because some of the roof lines didn't quite match up and there was a weird sort of alignment. So I was just trying to sort all that out and make sure it all makes as much sense as possible, and just still make it look interesting as well. Because we had the really simple sort of cottage look before where it was just a rectangular box, which I think is fine for what we had. But now that we've expanded massively and we're moving everyone into this one house, essentially upstairs. So there was I think it was on my subreddit, which if you haven't joined, r/JamesTurnerYT, great place to be. We're nearly, actually, how many members are we at now? Because I promised at 25,000 members, Hotel Build Part 4 will come out. And I don't think we're that far off. Like we're still a few thousand, but we're pretty close considering to where we started. We are currently at 19,000 members. Dang, so not far, only 6,000 more. So if you haven't joined my subreddit, click the link down below. I'll put it down there. And then we'll get Hotel Build Part 4. And I think at 30,000, I promised something else. I can't remember. I think I might have been the prison challenge. But yeah, anyway. What they're saying, oh yeah, so I think someone posted over there a design where we split the house in half. And one half was Chaz and Trenton. The other half, not Chaz, Trenton. What am I saying? One half is Hazel and Trenton, and the other half was Chaz. And I think it was kind of like a full split, like down the middle, almost like a, what do you call it? A semi-detached house where you have like the dividing wall down the middle, I think. And I kind of went for an in-between thing. Like this is all one house. There's no like direct split. But one half of the upstairs is for Trenton and Hazel and their children. And then the other half is Chaz, basically. And he just has his space over that side. And yeah, I also try to make it look like, I didn't want this house to look like it was designed for their particular living scenario. Like I didn't want it to look like a new build, if that makes sense. Like I was trying to make it look like it was an existing house that they adapted. It's kind of the idea. Now here, we've just completely shifted gears because we have all of those water collectors that we are trying to collect so we can reduce our water bill for all the watering. And I really hate how they're just sitting out the front of the lot. So I actually built like a water tower in the back of the property and put them all up the top. I'll show you that later. You saw just a snippet of it, but honestly, I spent like maybe 2 to 3 hours on that alone, just trying to figure out what was going to work and look good. So we'll have a closer look later, but yeah, I didn't record that because it was getting out of hand, but you saw just the beginning of it. So I moved all those water collectors into the water tower. Now, whether or not that's going to work well, / if my Sims can even maintain them up there, because I think they're still breaking sometimes. I don't know. That remains to be seen, but we'll find out. So again, upstairs, like I said earlier, I was kind of trying to keep the layout, but then I was like, no, this doesn't make any sense. Let's just rip out everything from upstairs and we'll just start fresh as well. Now, I also wanted to have a second set of stairs just because I feel like big houses and estates always have like multiple stairways, which I guess makes sense for a really big house. This house isn't that big, but I guess for a giant house, it kind of makes sense to have more ways to get around instead of having to walk all the way to one side of the house to get up. But anyway, I wanted to put one in because I felt it seemed a little fancier to have 2 sets of stairs, you know. I think that's where you know this house is expensive, the 2 sets. So this, I was just spending a lot of time playing around with it because I was trying to figure out where the stairs could actually go that wouldn't, you know, ruin the floor plan. Like I wanted, because we got that big sunroom at the back, I wanted that to have a really nice doorway to it, not like a tiny like single tile door. I wanted like a big door that would, you know, big French doors there and still have stairs somewhere that wasn't going to cut into that space. And I think having them there, just off to the side behind a little doorway, I think that works quite well. So here at the front of the house is like, I guess, the regular sitting room, maybe a little bit more cozy because it's got the fireplace. This also has a TV in that room. And then we have, again, the home office that has the 2 desks for Trenton and Chaz. This is just next to the stairs. And then back here behind that is where the big sunroom is, where we do a big sitting area. There's no TV in there, but You know, so a little bit more of a family room. And I'll probably end up adding toys in there because we haven't really done too many children's things in this house yet. Like, I fully furnished everything, but I figured once we get into the Let's Play and we're playing with the kids, we'll buy the stuff that they need and want to use. Like, we've got some toys, and I think I did that children's tent as well. I think that I put that in this room. So, but I figured once we get into the Let's Play again, we can put more specific stuff around the place. But I got everything that we kind of had before, and then also just, you know, filled it out a little more with more couches and stuff and all that. Got a couple of armchairs, you know, plenty of seating area. I would love to see the whole family sitting in this room. I don't know if we're ever going to be able to do that. Maybe, I don't know. I just want some family time, you know, with my Sims. So over here, this side of the house that's Chaz's. There's actually a spare bedroom completely, but we might change that. So there's, I think, how many bedrooms in this house? 5? I think 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, something like that. Now, Chaz's room is nothing special. Like, it's nice and it's a decent size, but it's not huge, which I think makes sense because, I mean, this house is not supposed to be like cavernous. It's supposed to be big and have lots of rooms, which I think it does, but the rooms themselves aren't massive, which I think is totally fine. He has a full bathroom though as an ensuite, and we're able to actually fit the pet bed in properly this time because I think in his last room it was kind of just squished in there. Also, I think I sold Trenton's bed that was fully upgraded because I don't have it anymore. So we're gonna have to upgrade that new bed, which I guess is not a problem, but it's something to keep in mind when I'm doing it. Yeah, so that's Chaz's room. Nothing, like I said, nothing too special, but it's just sort of over there. Over this side of the house is 3 bedrooms because I figured, you know, Trenton and Hazel have 2 kids, so they can each have their own room. And then this is their room just here. Like I said, new bed, so we'll have to remember to upgrade that. The room is a little bit of an awkward size. You'll see I don't know if I recorded all of it, but I kind of messed around with the layout for a long time. We also, if you remember, have the sort of, I guess, castle-y pop-top bit above. It's actually above this room, which is why I thought it was kind of good that we could turn that into Hazel's like creative workspace because the ladder to that section of the house is actually from this bedroom. So that actually might make some sense. And then, yeah, we've got 2 of the kids' bedrooms that are just on this section here. And I thought we had a better overview. Sorry, I was going to explain which is which, but can't really see. Anyway, oh yeah, so here's a tent, which I wanted to add in, but it's so big. So anyway, I put it downstairs. I was going to put it in the bedroom, but it just takes up too much space. I tried to get some of the kids' stuff here. Again, I'm not sure exactly what we're going to use, so we might change this, but I got one of the science tables and the sort of art table as well, and a bookcase, you know, just kind of standard stuff, and then we'll adjust and change it. Basically, as the Let's Play develops, it depends where those kids go, what we want them to do. You know, we haven't had a kid play the violin in a long time. Maybe we could do that. I don't know. There's like a lot of options, but I'm not sure exactly where that's going to go yet. Oh no. I just realized, because we got the ladder there, and did you see the level above was like super duper dusty? We're going to need more Roombas, because I'm not going to vacuum. Those are 2 brand new levels of the house, and they're so small. That means we're going to have to like get Roombas just for each of those levels. Otherwise, they're just going to be dusty all the time and probably start fires. So I just realized we're going to need to sort that out. I could just turn the dust system off. We also don't have a laundry in this house, but I don't know if I want to add that. I mean, like, I do want to add that, but did we try to add it before in this Let's Play already? I know we had it in the Dream Home Decorator Let's Play, but I don't think we've had it in this one yet. Maybe we could. But we've got so much we got to do still anyway. Like, oh, look how dusty that is there. That is going to need some cleaning up. So yeah, this is pretty much the house. There's obviously more furnishing to do, but I don't believe I filmed all of it. And we'll just jump into a tour. And there's also all the landscaping stuff I did. You haven't even seen the outside. Like I did the animal shed, like I said. We've got like a little hay bale storage section as well. So I'll give you a tour of the lot and we'll go through everything. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the time lapse. So let's jump into the lot itself and have a look around. All right, so this is what it looks like. I think I'm so happy with this. Like, I think this looks so cool. I think I still want to do a little bit more out the front. Like, I wasn't 100% sure on how I wanted the sort of front entrance area to look, but I think this, I'm so happy with it. Like, this is miles better than what we had before, so this is coming along really, really nicely. And actually, if you look closely at the grass, I tried to make it look like the lawn had been mowed, so it was like really nicely done. I don't know if that really worked. I might change that, but that's why there's kind of the lines there. It's supposed to look like it's freshly mown. Actually, also, if you look at the fountain, you'll notice underneath, just there, it's actually lowered down, which is also something I wanted to do. It should kind of be a little bit more centered. Oh, I guess because I had to adjust it. Okay. So yeah, it's lowered down because otherwise it has this huge base, which I thought was a little big. So I just put it down there instead. So it's in the center of this, but that's why maybe we'll have to adjust that somehow. I don't know. Anyway, so that's there. And then over here, we can see the new animal sheds. So I decided to keep it simple in the end because if you remember way back, we were trying to do all these different techniques to make it work. In the end, I just put some walls around it. So when we're on the ground floor, if we have the walls down, we'll just see the animal sheds like this. I think they should still work because we haven't blocked the doors. They're not inside a different room. I think sometimes the animals might walk through the columns, but I mean, that's fine. But I think it should functionally work fine. If not, we might have to adjust it. But, you know, I think that looks pretty good. Like, I was pretty happy with that. Obviously, you can see the actual sheds there. So it's not perfect. But, you know, if you're looking here, I think that looks perfectly fine. Over here, I did like the hay bale storage, which I thought was really nice. Just some decorative debug ones. And then all of these are actually the ones that you buy and sit on. So they're just kind of stacked up in there. Which I thought was nice. You know, just cover that in, some landscaping around it. Obviously down the side here, we removed the outhouse that used to be here. So that's changed. And then over here, like I said, we removed the old house. It's completely gone. We have a water tower now, which we'll have a look at in a second. And our little, I guess, shed used to be not on an angle. It used to be here and not as big. So it's technically slightly bigger now because it's diagonal, but it's got all that sort of stuff in it. Oh, and we removed that little market stall thing because we just weren't using that. And especially it was at the back of the lot. And yeah, like I said, we never use it. So I just got rid of it. It was just taking up space. So this, I think the fizzer used to be inside the market stall. So that's actually now in here, which I think works just fine. Then we also have, like I said, we have this random telescope that's just here. And also the weather machine. So I'm not really sure where those are going to go. But at the moment, they're just in those two places. Nothing over here has changed. This, like I said, has actually been risen up. So we have 2 steps here. Instead of around the front, you can see it's actually, I think, 4 steps. So yeah, a little higher on the side, which I quite like. I think it's nicer. It's a little bit raised up. Oh, actually, it might mean now, because originally the chickens were actually fenced into this area. I think now they can wander up here. Can chickens walk upstairs? I don't know. If they can leave. So I don't know. We might need to do like a gate or something somewhere if that's a problem. Anyway, that's there. I didn't change any of this stuff. I mean, I cleaned up some of this space. And like I said, those water or dew collectors were here and they have now been moved. So they're actually now, if we put all the walls up, it's actually a structure up here. So if I put the walls down, you can see it's like that. So basically they're just sitting up here. in there. And I changed the color of them so they kind of blend in from a distance a bit more. So it's kind of just supposed to be a water tower. And I just really wanted them out of the way, to be honest. I can't remember if these were breaking frequently. I do actually have a ladder to get up here, which I think, hang on, this kid's here. Can you climb up this ladder? Because if you can get up there, we at least have, okay. Oh, I thought he just changed into like swimwear. No, his clothes just match his skin color, so it's hard to tell. So he's just climbing up here. Yeah, so they can get up here, but I don't know how accessible this all is. Yeah, so you can't actually get around. So if some of these break, we might have to remove the 2 in the middle, because then I think it will probably all be accessible. Oh, actually, are these broken? Oh, they are. Okay, well, there you go. So I might have to sort that out. But yeah, that was kind of the idea. I quite like that. Let me know what you think in the comments down below of that idea. I don't have any of the solar panels. We used to have a bunch on the house, but I removed them. Maybe I'll put them back. Maybe we can do some of these over here. But yeah, that's the house on the outside. I think that's all I need to show you. Let me just have a look around. Pretty basic. You know, you got the back section here. Yeah, and then this little top section, which I quite like. So we'll go inside. So the layout, I mean, in a way is kind of similar to the original house. You know, we've got the kitchen and dining room over here, but they've expanded. So you come in here through this entrance. Shoes are here in the little sort of indoor-outdoor section. And then you've got a coat rack just here, or hat rack. Come through this little archway, and there's actually the downstairs bathroom just in the middle here. And then we have a larger dining table. This used to be a two-tile table. A 4-seater, now it is an 8-seater, or a 6-seater, now it's an 8-seater. So we've got more room for all the family. The kitchen is in this section now. There's no longer a door to get out this way. It's actually moved here. So through the kitchen, you can actually walk through into this back section here, which is, this room was kind of like an extra room. Like it was kind of nothing. It's kind of like this and this. These are just hallways, which I think is fine, because the problem was otherwise the kitchen and the dining room would have been really weird shapes if this was part of that room. So this, I guess, in a way is also just kind of like an extension of the boot room, which we have here. It's all tiled, so I guess it's just meant to get dirty, and I put like the dog bowl in there, so I think that works fine. Over the other side, we have a little hallway coming through here, and that leads into the home office here for Chaz and Trenton. They got the double desks, and over this side is like the sort of TV room and fireplace just in there. Little chess table as well. Through here is the sunroom with a children's play tent, a bunch of counters, you know, plenty of windows and all that. Which if we jump in here, I mean, I think this looks pretty dang nice if you're sitting in here. Like that is good. That is good. And then moving upstairs, we have the main landing here. Huge chandelier, a couple of armchairs just sitting there for that window because I didn't know what else to do with it. Oh, hey, I didn't finish that bathroom. Oh, well, that's all right. I'll do that. I'll do that. Now, this room is empty because, like I said, that's actually just a spare bedroom. I wasn't sure what we should do with that. At the moment, it could be anything, so let me know in the comments down below. In here is Nina's bedroom. So we got all, you know, toddler stuff, dollhouse, toys, that kind of stuff. And through here is Angus's room, which has just got a bunch of stuff to sort of do in here, which should be a bit of fun. And then we have Hazel and Trenton's bedroom, which is also, I think, quite nice. And then through here is the ladder to get up to the sort of upper sections of the house. So this one's sort of in line with the roof. And then up here is the room with the windows. And that's the house renovation. So that's it. That is it. We finally did it. Obviously, it's not done yet. We got to do some more renovation still, but I think things are... Oh, what the heck? How is it already there? How did it get there? And the golden chicken's already loose too. But yeah, that is the renovation, finally. Sorry it took so long. Things have been kind of hectic. But hopefully we should be back doing some more regular videos now. We're going to be doing the Let's Play soon too, which I'll take into account all the comments down below of this video so we can make a few changes and go from there. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure to leave your comments, suggestions, and feedback down below. I'll see you next time, and have an awesome day.